The Nintendo Switch 2 is on the horizon, and rumors suggest that it could be a serious competitor or the end for gaming PC handhelds like the Steam Deck. But will this Switch 2 really be the PC handheld killer, or is Nintendo just gearing up to deliver another underpowered console? Thanks to the massive success of the Nintendo Switch, in these last couple of years, there's been a giant boom in the gaming handheld marketplace. Thanks to this, we saw awesome products like the Steam Deck come out, the ROG Ally, and the Lenovo Legion Go. But this entire wave of super powerful handheld PCs seems to be the answer to the biggest problem the Nintendo Switch has, being that it's very underpowered and is using super old technology. It's a really good time to compare the rumored capabilities of the Nintendo Switch 2. That way we can see how this new console is going to compare to its handheld PC rivals. And honestly, at the end of the video, I really want to see if the Switch 2 will earn that title of the PC handheld killer. So let's get into it. Now for this video, I do want to take a bit more of an everyday usage point of view, and we still don't know exactly what's going to be inside of this console. We can make very educated guesses due to the massive amounts of leaks we've gotten in the last couple of months, but we can still only speculate. Just a little disclaimer. Now I have to say, I was super excited when I saw the rise of the PC handheld. When I first found out about like having my whole like Steam library, Epic game library, or just like even Game Pass, like being able to use this when I'm out on the go, that blew my mind. I thought that was the most amazing thing ever. So when I was finally able to get my hands on a Steam Deck, I thought this was the coolest thing ever. Like I can take this on a road trip, but to be honest, the biggest use case scenario that I saw myself using the Steam Deck was just playing games on the toilet. I mean, hey, we all gotta do it, right? But besides my personal love for these PC handhelds, it seems like everyone else also really like them a lot. I think one of the biggest appeals that these handhelds have is that they allow you a lot of flexibility and customization in the form of mods or how you want to run your games, like changing up the settings and stuff. And one of the most popular things that people were doing was also running emulators, which don't even get me started on like 3DS emulation on the Steam Deck. It was so much fun. But despite the seemingly endless possibilities that you can do with your handheld PC, they still kind of come with a lot of drawbacks. Most notably being battery life. These things absolutely suck when it comes to battery life. Literally, you can get anywhere between 45 minutes to maybe 2 hours. Now, some of the newer handheld PCs have been improving on that, but it's still falling within that 3-hour mark or less. And obviously, it all depends on what type of game you're playing. Now, when you think of handheld, I think the word portable really comes to mind. And to be honest, when you think about a Steam Deck or an ROG Ally or a freaking Lenovo Legion Go, the last thing that really comes into your mind is portable. Now, yes, these consoles do tend to be a little bit more chunkier, but in reality, all this adds is just a lot of ergonomics when you're actually using these devices in your hand. For the most part, if you want to carry any of these handheld PCs anywhere, you now have to bring along a case. So like a businessman on a business trip with your giant briefcase, like what are we doing? You know, like that sucks. But obviously, this is a conversation for another day, since I think at this point, the handheld market has really just started to veer far away from being portable and pocketable. So that's just an overall issue for the entire handheld gaming sphere. Now, the biggest thing that has been holding back, in my opinion, the handheld PCs is definitely their price point. Now, an exception for a Steam Deck. Steam Decks, you can get them for about like $399. All the other ones that are coming out are super expensive. It'll be really hard to find something brand new anywhere between like, I don't know, $600 to like $1,000. Now, that's a big investment for a handheld that will inevitably receive a spec bump next year, and they'll come out with the new version of whatever you just bought, and you'll just get slapped with buyer's remorse. So kind of not fun. Now, thanks to the initial look we just got with the Nintendo Switch 2 and a lot of these leaks that are out and about the console itself, we can infer a lot about how powerful this system might be. The Switch 2 will most likely be powered by a custom NVIDIA Tegra 239 processor. Now, in layman's term, this just basically means that the processor inside of the Switch will be able to run or give you as much performance as like the day one PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Now, if this doesn't blow your mind with the potential ports of games we could be seeing coming to the system, or even the new games that will be able to be developed for this system, like that's just crazy. That sounds so much fun. Now, one of the clear things about the Switch 2 is that it's definitely bigger than the original Switch. To be precise, it's about a 14% size increase. Now, to be honest, all that means to me is that there's now more real estate to add more components and more stuff into the Switch 2 itself. I am really hopeful to get a bigger battery inside of the console. Now, this point is a little bit iffy because even though if they manage to put a bigger battery, since the console is going to be more powerful, it's going to be drawing more power from that battery. So you kind of get like a weird give and take scenario. But still, I hope that for some whatever reason, Nintendo was able to find a miracle workaround to get the most out of the battery. Now, one of the ways that I think that Nintendo will probably make this happen is with their integration of their version of DLSS technology. What this basically means is that the console will be able to run games at a lower resolution and then use artificial intelligence to bump up that resolution to make it seem like it was running at higher settings. Now, one of the biggest rumors that we have been hearing is that this version of DLSS will be able to take an image from about 720p and potentially boost it all the way up to 4K, at least when the Nintendo Switch 2 is docked. And that is crazy. But in all honesty, what is the biggest Switch 2 rumor that you think will actually happen? Or do you think any of these rumors are just lies and it's just us having like that hopeful wishing? I don't know, guys. Let me know your thoughts and kind of drop some comments down below. Because, yeah, maybe I feel like I am gushing too much about it. At the end of the day, these are all rumors until they are officially confirmed by Nintendo. But the one thing that we can be sure is that the Nintendo Switch 2 will definitely have a spec bump than the original Switch. But despite the Switch 2 potentially being more powerful, it will never be able to compare with the raw power that these PC handhelds have. But the one thing that the PC handhelds have definitely taught us is that you can have the best of the best inside of your handheld PC, but if your software isn't well optimized, then all that power is just wasted. Now, obviously, this comes with game developers optimizing their games for your specific system. Now, one thing that Nintendo is the king of is definitely squeezing out every bit of power from their consoles, because they are almost always using super old technology on their latest consoles. But Nintendo is kind of keen at optimizing their crappy technology and making it run like super awesome. Now, one of my favorite things is just the game libraries that exist for even the original Switch and also for these PC handhelds. And once you start thinking about it, you notice that there's actually a big amount of overlap from what games you can play on either one of the systems. Now, having a more powerful system that could perform like last generation's console will only allow developers to even port their games onto the Switch 2 itself, therefore closing that gap between the libraries of the Switch and these powerful PC handhelds. But at the end of the day, I think the biggest winning point that the Nintendo Switch 2 will have to become this PC handheld killer is just the ease of use of the Nintendo Switch. It's kind of hard to argue about how easy and plug and play the experience is with the traditional Switch, and I'm pretty sure the Switch 2 is going to offer that same plug and play experience. So do you really want to play on your handheld PC that will most likely give you issues? Those are just like the little annoying things that happen when we do play on our PCs. Now, I know I don't want to hear the whole excuse, oh, but I'm a tinkerer, I like the tinkering. You know, it's like if you're a mechanic, yeah, you love fixing cars. You don't want your car to die on you every time you start it up just to go get a burger. Like when I turn on my gaming console, I just want it to work. I like tinkering too, but not when it gets in the way of my gaming time. No. But obviously, like most Nintendo consoles, they do tend to target a very much a younger, more family-oriented demographic, and when you think about PC handhelds, those are not the same people. There's like very little crossover. Now, yes, that had been the case for the longest time, but I feel that even with the original Switch, Nintendo, you really just saw them broaden their scope of who they wanted to target with that specific console. We saw more games that were intended for a more mature audience. Now, taking that exact point into account, I think that the Switch 2 will only continue that trajectory. Like the Switch 2 is going to be the one place you can play any type of game that you want. And with that, the Nintendo Switch 2 will be able to appeal to not just casual gamers, but more of that hardcore PC gamer culture. Now, everything isn't going to be sunshines and flowers for the Switch 2. I think there are a couple of challenges that this console is for sure going to face. Now, in comparison to these PC handhelds, the Switch 2 is going to be more of that traditional Nintendo walled garden that they like to do. So it's like very hard to mod, mod, customize, and just make the system really feel like it's yours. This seems to alienate a lot of the tech-savvy gamers that typically flock towards these handheld PCs. Now, another thing, I would say it's the online functionality that the Switch 2 will be able to offer. As we know right now, the Switch Online, not like the gaming stuff, but like if you want to play with friends and stuff like that, like multiplayer, that thing sucks. Unless Nintendo actually fixed their online functionality, I think the Switch 2 is just gonna fail again when it comes to that, and it doesn't have to. I don't want it to. Now, I really do believe that thanks to the success of the original Switch, we have this booming gaming handheld market right now. Every company has been dropping these super cool handhelds. Yes, they drop them every year, but every year they drop one, it keeps getting better and better and better. And these companies, they've been really pushing the envelope of what a handheld can do. Now, because of that, it's kind of a make it or break it situation, I feel like, for the Switch 2. How they are able to use what power this console has, it has to be great. They have to knock it out of the park. That is everything we know as of right now for the Nintendo Switch 2. Only time will tell if this will seriously be the PC handheld killer. Like, I think it has the chance to be. But now I want to hear from you guys. Do you guys think that the Switch 2 will have what it takes to dethrone gaming handheld PCs like the Steam Deck? Or do you think that this new console is just gonna fall short? Anyway, guys, drop some comments down below and let me know what you guys think about these questions. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, also that like button, or dislike. I want to know how you guys felt about the video. But yes, if you guys want to see more content like this, I plan on doing more videos. I know that was my plan last year, and then I kind of dropped off at around March, but now we're back on January. So yes, I want to be doing these weekly videos. I want to get to the point where I'm doing 2 videos a week. Anyway, point is, stay tuned if you're interested, and if you've already subscribed, I appreciate you. And yeah, let's just hang out some other time soon. So catch you guys in the next one.